Well, this year our overarching theme for social studies is what is my story? It's kind of a big concept for first grade, but I think it's a really important one to recognize that they have a story at school, they have a story at home, they have a story on the playground, and that they are an active participant in that story and that they do have choices in where their story is going. So here at Iolani School we have what's called the Tam Young Grant, and it allowed us the opportunity to apply and to have Miss Jamie come in and do a 3-week residency.
The enduring understanding for this residency was we all have stories big and small. What's interesting, when we talk about young learners in social studies, usually we start with this idea of yourself, your family, your community, your world, and kind of branch out to the big world that we're a part of. And in this situation, I feel like I kind of went backwards because I felt like kids understand story when we talk about bedtime stories. They know the great characters of fairy tales. They know the settings and the plots. So let's start with the stories that they know and then actually get them to apply those concepts to themselves and look at how do we see in ourselves similar traits or similar settings.
If I go like this, what kind of words come to your head?
Power.
Power. I'm going to go with this word for a second, powerful. So this is a powerful character. That's a trait.
I saw a show on Broadway, a one-man show by John Leguizamo called Spicorama, where he basically depicted all of the members of his family, the men, the women, everybody, and it was an amazing performance. It was stuck in my brain. And so when I brought in my family, I told the kids, I brought guests today. And immediately they started looking around, where are they, where are they, who are the guests? I said, who would you like to meet first? These are my guests, my family. I grabbed a hat, grabbed a single prop, and I set the kids up also to question.
Wait, my sister, she told me that you might have some questions for me. Is that true? Well, I really like helping people. I really like organizing birthday parties,
And this, I think, was a really good connection with literacy because asking questions about the text, in this case, the text was a piece of drama, a very small role play. And for them to be able to ask questions, to pull out information, is a literacy skill in itself. Some children asked a lot of questions of these characters, and some were very quiet, but they were really attending. I think simply by letting them know that as an audience member, they have a job. You're not just passive, laid back, waiting for other people to give you data, give you information. Instead, you have to be active. You have to find the information, you have to process it and interpret it.
What I loved about what Jamie did and the experiences that the kids had, was the kids were really learning without even knowing that they were learning. They were having fun and they were busy just working with a friend and watching other people and exploring ideas. For me, it naturally differentiates bringing drama into the classroom. For those of us that are really good at paper pencil type work, this is a stretch for us. So we have to learn to communicate, we have to learn to show our emotions, we have to learn to think a bit abstractly.
The research that is most presently accepted is the idea of universal design for learning, which is that the more we give kids options to understand new information, options to engage and lock into information, and options to express or take action, their brains develop, they're able to learn, they're able to grow. So in our work together, they actually had several options. One was working with a peer. If they're used to working independently all the time, now we're saying, guess what? Your option is to work with a peer. 2 is working kinesthetically. If we're in our desks and really controlling our bodies all the time, this is a new option. You're going to stand up, you're going to make a shape with your body, and you're going to freeze it. That's a pretty crazy option. Now we have an auditory option. You're going to express your idea using sound instead of speaking. So that's an option. So the way I see it now is that the arts provide us with options for learning and understanding, and ideally we're preparing them to become really good arts consumers, people who go to the theater and really think about what they see, whether it's a movie or a play, that they're actively engaged in the content. But to see first graders in small groups of 3, not just talking together, but making something new together is developmentally a real challenge, and they did it, they nailed it.
I can tell that it was a really meaningful experience for them because they're still talking about it. They're still understanding character traits. They've really latched onto that idea. Now when they read stories, they're actually able to pick out You know, maybe the character was sad one day, but it doesn't mean that they're a sad character. That's not a character trait. They're holding on to all those lessons. To me, it tells a story of their growth. And I'm really proud of them. They've done a fine job. I'm so thankful to the Tam Young Grant for allowing us the opportunity to bring Jamie into the classroom. The kids had a great experience. I'm so happy that they've had the foundation of their story, and it's going to be pivotal in their learning throughout the year, and I'm so excited to see where they go from here.